Yeah, listener, I'll try to answer all three of your comments. They're all kind of semi passive aggressive. Number one, Jake Shields. Brother, I'm not like a fan who watches TV. Like, I actually knew that guy. I trained with him in the same training room. I had the same doctor he had. I talked to his friends that were close to him. I knew stuff about Jake, and that includes about the Fitch fight. So I'll just leave it at that with that. With Chael Sonnen, that was actually my first UFC fight. In my brother's, I had just been home from prison. I got out in 2008. When was that fight? 2009, 10, whatever it was. And it was in Oakland. And I had never been. And I was amazed to see that it was almost a combination of a boxing match and a rock concert all at once. The energy was insane. And what I can tell you is this: we were in the last row on the floor, which is still pretty close when you think about it. And back then they were still like $500 seats or whatever, which today what are they? They're probably $5,000. And when Chael Sonnen came out to the ring, his eyes were going in different directions practically. Like, I mean, I was 100 yards or whatever it would be from Chael, and you could see that there was something demented about the guy. And that goes into my whole point of this. Like, yes, I'm sure Anderson Silva was juiced. If he was juiced for his fight with Nick Diaz, I guarantee he was juicing against Chael. But then what you have a match is a guy who knows drugs better than a guy who's just dabbling, right? And that's not what we want to see. Maybe Anderson was on test or whatever, and meanwhile Chael's on some giant cocktail. And then what you're competing against is the guy with the most chemical knowledge rather than the guy with the best fight IQ. And I think the way that fight took place is most important. Look, Anderson Silva at the time was the best stand-up fighter in MMA. Chael Sonnen had very rudimentary stand-up. And if you watch that fight, Chael just walked forward and threw windmill punches the way I talk about any wrestler does, right? Because they don't really know what they're doing. And that shows you right there that all that technique and all that skill that Anderson learned his whole career meant nothing against essentially juice. Could have been Chael Sonnen, could have been anybody else in that body. That's my problem with it. And that's why I really believe it's got to be like Japan. You got to legalize it across the board and let everybody do it. Because otherwise, all you're getting is the best steroid sheet in there. You're not getting the best fighter. And the way it is right now, guys slip through. Like, this whole post started because people started accusing Manel Kape of being on juice. Now, one of the things people do that I don't think is fair is Manel Kape's a very brawny flyweight, right? He's got a big chest. So people automatically, and he hits hard. So people go, oh, he's on juice. Is that a telltale sign of juice? It actually isn't, right? Some people get really bulky, some people don't. A lot of it is body type as to what the juice does to you. But we're human beings and we judge off visual things and what we see and whatnot. So, yeah, there it is, listener. I was trying not to be passive aggressive back with you. Sorry if I failed. It's rough being on the show, but keep commenting, man. I love guys like you. It gives a spark for me to get out here and talk. And there it is. Like and follow for more on The Fight Game, everyone.